Welcome to today's career clinic. And it's a fundamental one, but a one I feel like needs to be restated every now and then. And it's thinking about your ecosystem. Thinking about your ecosystem. Your ecosystem is a pivotal part of your career journey. And what do I mean by ecosystem? A lot of times when we think about ecosystem, we think about the definition of what's around us, right? Plants, water, land, all those things that make up where we live and the space we occupy, animals, other organisms, weather, landscape, you name it. But think about from your career perspective, what is in the environment that is of the utmost importance along your career journey? I'm so glad you asked. People are a big part of your ecosystem, huge part of your ecosystem. And coming out of the pandemic, one of the things that has happened, and there's a lot of data to back this up, is that we've become a bit more isolated. You know, if pre-pandemic you were an introvert, you have probably so gone back into your introvertism. I'm not even sure that's a word, but I'm now made it a word. You have so much more going back into being an introvert that you may not even realize it, or you may realize it and be totally comfortable with it. But I want to share with you as a fellow introvert that we need people in our career journey. People are a huge part of our career journey. So one of the things I like to use is what I call an ecosystem tool, just to understand, where do I sit with my ecosystem? And so if you're got a piece of paper, do this with me. Just work with me on this little small exercise. Now I want you to kind of put yourself, like, draw 9 boxes, one big box, then do two vertical lines, and then bam, you've got 9 boxes, right? Take a full sheet of paper with ways. I know I'm being real specific. This is my nerdy side, okay? But take the paper, put it with ways, do one big box across the paper, right? One big box, then do 2 vertical lines, so you have a 9 box. In the middle box, I want you to write super authentic me. That's you in that box. And now we're going to add some other titles, okay? So up in the upper left box, I want you to put the label mentors and sponsors. And what you're going to do in each of these boxes after you do the label is you're going to write down 2 to 3 names that come to your mind on this. But let's get the grid together first. In the next box, the top middle box, I want you to write manager and your skip level manager, okay? So your immediate manager and the person they report to. Over to the right top box, I want you to write your manager's peers. Yes, this counts. I know you're probably thinking, hey, all these are a lot of people. Yes, it is, but you actually work with these people on a regular basis to varying degrees. Okay. Now, next to you, next to super authentic me, to the left, I want you to put your peers that are within the same business with you, same business, same division. If you work in a source, same store, on your level, right? So other people that report to your boss. To the right of you, I want you to put out of department peers. So same thing, people who maybe report to your manager's colleague. So they're your peers, but they're outside of your department. Okay. Now below you, below super authentic me, just below you, if you have anyone who reports to you, if you have managerial supervisory responsibility, I want you to put direct reports and staff. Okay. Then over to the left of that bottom box, or bottom row, left box, mentees, people that you mentor on a regular basis. And then all the way on the right on that bottom row, you're going to have outside contacts. Okay. So now if you're just trying to catch up, let me go. So 9 boxes, top row, mentors and sponsors, then manager skip level, then manager's peers. Okay. Middle row, management team peers, then super authentic me in that middle section, and then out of department peers. And then the bottom row, mentees, your direct reports and staff right underneath your box, and then outside contacts. Now, what you're going to do, you're going to take this away later, and you're going to doodle. Again, you're going to put 2 to 3 names under each label. Just write the names down. Under your mentors and sponsors, write down people you spend time with, you get advice from. Under your manager skip level, that's easy. Who do you report to? Who are their boss, right? Manager's peers. Think about your boss's colleagues, okay? Put some names in. You're going to fill all these in, and then you're going to put a color code against each one. And let me tell you about the color code. And you can just write the color next to it or whatever, okay? But here goes. You're going to put a red color if you have a purely transactional relationship, meaning the only time you communicate with that person is when it is to get a task done. Just think about that. The only time you talk to them is when you get a task done. You don't converse with them otherwise. There's no small talk. Nothing else happens. You're going to put a red next to it. You're going to put yellow next to it if it's kind of an operationally mature relationship. In other words, things flow between you well. You may have a little gab in between there because, you're Joe and you talk to Mary, like, hey, Mary, how's it going? I haven't seen you in a bit, da-da-da, working on this project, so on and so forth. But you have a level of rapport, okay? And so you're going to put that, we'll call it operationally mature. You're going to put a yellow on that. And then green is for super fluid relationships. Somebody coined a phrase once: if you know the color of the carpet inside their home, you know the name of their children, all those different things, that's green. You're fluid. You talk about everything. You may walk and get coffee together. You may go to get lunch together, but it is so far beyond the work, the overall relationship. If they left the company, you'd probably stay in contact. Okay. Those are green. After you do the exercise, there's a few steps in terms of, again, this is about managing your ecosystem, about making sure you have a healthy ecosystem as it relates to your career. Because whether you want to face this or not, a lot of things that happen in our career are driven by who we work with and what those relationships are like. But you have the opportunity to take, I don't want to say control, you have an opportunity to better influence, right? The people you work with in terms of relationships, relationship value. So here's what you're going to do. After you do that, you put in the 2 to 3 names per box. You do the color coding I talked about: red, transactional; yellow, operationally mature; green, fluid. You look at the complexion of the page. Is the page largely red, or is it red trending yellow? Or is it highly yellow, or yellow trending green? Or is it highly yellow, yellow trending red? No matter where you are, don't judge. Just understand where you are. You may go, man, I'm fluid as a mug. I know everybody. I hang out with everyone. Yippee-ki-yay. Where's the opportunities? Are there some yellows that you could bring into that green space? If you're an extrovert, this may be very natural. You talk to a lot of people. You just have missed a few people. On the opposite end of that, if you're more introverted, you may not have built those relationships. You may, again, only talk to folks when you are kind of, quote unquote, required to. So you may be seeing more red and yellow than you want to when you think about the value of this exercise. Again, that's okay. All we're talking about now is understanding and appreciating where you are. And now you can put an action plan to it. So if you got several people in red, you can say, well, I'd like to get them to that yellow by September 1. And I'm going to take some concerted efforts. Even if I work remotely, I'm going to do some virtual coffee, catch-ups, virtual lunches. When we work on an item together, instead of scheduling, 15, 20 minutes, I'll schedule 30 minutes so I can have some pre-time to talk about what happened over the weekend and do a check-in, if you will, to see how folks are doing. If you're yellow, same thing. You have opportunities for folks in yellow to move them to green and be fluid. Same thing, same practice. Be intentional to spend time. Find things that you can do together, if that makes sense for you, right? Depending on where you are, whether you're home or whether you're back in a physical office. Even if you're home, there's so many different things people are finding they can do together in terms of, I don't even want to say team building, because that sounds like it's so much work, but ways to interact with people that are productive and healthy. And that's it, fam. Use these things to build relationships and give relationships the just due that they need. As always, thanks for tuning into the Career Clinic. We're going to jump into some music, and then I'm going to close out in a second, y'all. Keep it locked.